each and every one of you for taking the time and effort to join us in such a unique event that is exclusively blends professional development with corporate social responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, over the rest of the day, you will be participating in 10 sessions in this conference. These will include 4 short speeches, 5 technical presentations, and 1 discussion panel. The sessions will flow in 2 phases, morning and afternoon, and they will be separated by a 40-minute light lunch between 1:50 and 2:30 p.m. The morning phase is starting immediately after my slot with 4 short speeches that will start with صفوة Aviation Association Chairman's opening speech, then the ICAO introductory speech, followed by the Egyptian Civil Aviation Authority speech, and finally the speech of the conference's guest of honor, His Excellency Captain Hussam Kamal, the Minister of Civil Aviation of Egypt. Following the speeches, the conference morning session begins. These will be 40-minute technical presentations, each of which will be followed by a 10 minutes for questions and answers. So I would like to ask you to not interrupt the speaker during the presentation. Just wait until he or she finishes the presentation and then ask the questions and you will get your answers. During the morning phase, you will have a short networking break where you will meet with colleagues and enjoy coffee and tea and probably some bakeries. Then you will go back to the rest of the morning presentations. The break will be announced between the sessions. Now, I'm supposed to give you some details about the titles and times of the conference sessions, but I don't think I want to do this. I would not eat up your time listing information that is available for you in your booklet, conference booklet. I think that every one of you has this booklet in his conference bag. So please go to the details of the conference sessions and see the times and the presentation order within your booklet. I will leave this for you to read the details of the session in your booklet, which you will find in your conference bags. This one. After lunch at 2:30 p.m., the afternoon phase will begin with a 45-minute panel discussion, followed by a special presentation about the initiatives made by صفوة Association. Then the conference activities will conclude with a closing remarks presentation by صفوة Chairman. Now, and before I leave the podium, I need to ask for 2 things. 1, please, for everyone in this room, take a moment to shut down your mobile phones or put them on silent. Can we do this? Yes? Done? Listen, Minister Wael is working on it. Okay. Thank you very much. The second thing that I would like to ask you is for the presenters, please watch the time of your presentations because we do not want to go and elapse time between presentations. We do not want to go out of the schedule. So just take care. And I think that we will be waving and giving you signs and telling you thank you very much, you've done and everything. Thank you for your patience and have a great conference today. Now, I would like to invite a very, very special person to me personally. He is a person that I have known since I was much, much younger, very, very long time ago. He is one of the people that I consider an example to be followed, and I am following him. Please join me in welcoming the chairman of the صفوة Aviation Association, Engineer Hussein Masoud.
Good morning. Your Excellency, Captain Hussam Kamal, Minister of Civil Aviation of Egypt. Your Excellency, Engineer Ibrahim Yunus, Minister of Military Production, former Ministers of Aviation, of Civil Aviation and Transport, Pilot Mahmoud Zanati, President of Egyptian Civil Aviation Authority, leaders of aviation industry, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and pleasure to welcome you to the Aviation Safety and Sustainability Conference organized by Al-Safwa Aviation Association under the auspices of His Excellency Captain Hussam Kamal, Minister of Civil Aviation of Egypt. Well, it took me some time and deep thinking to determine what to say in my introductory speech. I finally decided to switch places with you, try to anticipate what you would expect to hear from me, and I address it. So I started at the moment you received the conference invitation. I believe that when you read it, 3 questions must have popped into your minds. Who is the صفوة Aviation Association? Why is organizing such conference? Why choose safety as a topic of the conference? And how will aviation safety be linked to the sustainability within the context of this conference? صفوة is an Egyptian non-governmental organization, not for profit, established in 2002. Its member has grown in number to approach around 600 members with wide academic, technical, and field competencies that are forming an outstanding body of expertise in the aviation field in Egypt. As such, Al-Safwa has developed to be stakeholder in the aviation industry, managing to assume an active role for enhancing this industry in Egypt. We are doing this along 3 lines. The first is increasing stakeholders' awareness about issues of challenges facing the aviation industry. Second, reaching balance between the regulatory bodies and operators and service providers. Third one, encouraging the aviation companies in Egypt to include their social responsibilities high on their priorities. By organizing this conference, Al-Safwa strongly believes that it is putting ideas into practice and materializing its role in enhancing the aviation industry in Egypt. Now, why choosing safety as a topic for this conference? Apart from the importance generally inherited within the concept of safety in aviation, 2 bases contributed into choosing safety as the theme and the topic of this conference. First, the research work in aviation industry, which projects that the volume of world air traffic will double over the coming 15 years. And second, the fact that advancement in aviation technology has improved the performance and hardware in a way that the majority of today's accidents have become more attributed to human or organizational factors rather than equipment. This, we think, places a considerable responsibility on the industry stakeholders to proactively address current and emerging safety issues and challenges, with the aim of ensuring that the expected expansion in aviation activities is carefully managed and supported through strategic regulatory and infrastructure development, including safety management systems to face the future challenges and live up to the responsibilities of providing safe flying people around the world. We hope that by addressing these factors in the conference sessions, we contribute positively into facing the present and preparing for future in securing safer aviation industry. Finally, linking safety and sustainability. I think that this topic is too technical to be handled within my speech. Therefore, I would rather leave it to my colleagues who will definitely cover it over the conference sessions. In the meantime, I would like to tap very quickly on sustainability as a business strategy. As we all know, aviation is one of the most sophisticated and very high-cost industry. Therefore, venturing into investing in such industry must be accomplished with the possibility of measures that guarantee sustainability and continuity of the product and the service at the highest possible levels of quality, so that the investment grows, otherwise it would be lost. In such context, the cost of quality provisions of the product or service should not be considered by operators and service providers as an extra cost. On the contrary, it should be seen as a necessary investment that is required for maintaining sustainability of the business. In the same language, moving beyond compliance becomes essential for securing sustainability of the business, particularly in aviation industry. A company, whether an airline or service provider, incorporating proper organizational structure, accountabilities, policies, and procedures into its operation would certainly attract more clients into their business. Such company would certainly guarantee a strong, sustainable business in the aviation market. At the end, I would like to thank all the participants in this conference, authorities, airlines, service providers, manufacturers, suppliers, and I would like also to extend my thanks to all the speakers, the panelists, sponsors, the press, and of course, the organizing team. I wish you all a successful and rewarding conference. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency Captain Hussein Kamel, Minister of Civil Aviation, Your Excellency Engineer Hussein Masoud, Chairman of صفوة Aviation Association, Your Excellency Mr. Mahmoud Zanati, President of the Egyptian Civil Aviation Authority, Your Excellencies, leaders of the aviation industry in Egypt, distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor and privilege for me to deliver this opening address to the Aviation Safety and Sustainability Conference on behalf of Mr. Mohammed Fonji, the ICAO Middle East Regional Director, who is sending you his apologies for not being able to attend due to other commitments. Allow me to start with some global indicators for the air transport sector, since we're talking about sustainability. The ICAO's figures show that 3.2 billion passengers took advantage of air transport services for their business and travel needs in 2014. This figure shows an increase of approximately 5% compared to 2013, and it is expected to reach over 6.4 billion by 2030. The aircraft departures reached 33 million globally during 2014, establishing a new record and surpassing the 2013 figure by roughly 1 million flights. In 2013 it was 32 million, in 2014 it's 33 million. So solid global economic growth as well as some gains in the world trade helped the scheduled passenger traffic to grow at a rate of 5.9% last year compared to 5.5% in 2013. With regard to the Middle East region, we recorded the fastest travel market growth rate at 12.8% for 2014. So it's a very growing market. With its combined economic strength and airline network expansions, the mid-region also recorded the highest international passenger traffic growth rate at 13.4%. This figure, along with the equally impressive 11.3% growth in freight traffic, were each more than double the comparable rates seen anywhere else in the world. So you can see that in the Middle East region, the market is really growing very, very fast. Let me now talk about safety, which is the main topic of this conference, and which is the first ICAO strategic objective, as you know. You may recall that the High-Level Safety Conference 2015 was held in ICAO headquarters in Montreal from 2 to 5 February 2015, so quite 1 month and a half ago. The disappearance of the Malaysian Airlines flight, the MH370 in 2014, and the downing of the Malaysian airline flight MH17 raised important concerns with respect to the public trust in air transport. This is why ICAO rapidly convened a sectoral response and brought related proposal to the attention of the High-Level Safety Conference less than a year after this accident took place, this dramatic accident. With respect to the MH17 and the conflict zones, the High-Level Safety Conference main recommendation was for ICAO to develop and host what we call a centralized online repository where states, operators, and applicable organizations could share up-to-date conflict zone risk information. The ICAO Council subsequently endorsed this recommendation, and as of beginning of April 2015, access to the repository for registered users has been readily available on the homepage of the ICAO website. Another major outcome of the High-Level Safety Conference was the support for a new 15-minute flight tracking standard. This development represents a critical first step in the implementation of ICAO's more comprehensive global aeronautical distress and safety system known as GATS, with over time will also lead to greater tracking frequency and precision under distress conditions. ICAO is also leading a global aircraft tracking implementation initiative at present in order to demonstrate the best use of existing equipment and capabilities. A dozen or more world airlines are participating in this initiative as well as a range of aircraft types. Besides these developments on the conflict zone and flight tracking, the High-Level Safety Conference delivered important recommendations on additional strategic priorities for aviation. Among these, the safe integration of remotely piloted aircraft systems into civilian airspace, the continued adoption of the proactive safety management approaches in states, the sharing and protection of safety information, and assistance for states seeking to attain minimum levels of effective safety oversight. Another topic I wish to briefly address today relates to the very unfortunate and more recent loss of the German Wings Flight 9525 and the lessons learned from it. ICAO has been seeking to draw greater attention to the importance of mental health assessments for licensed aviation personnel since 2009 and will continue to work on that. I would like also to talk about the mid-region developments related to aviation safety. I'm glad to highlight that the Middle East is the safest region in terms of fatalities for scheduled international air transport operation, with 0 fatal accidents since 2012. I hope this will continue. You may wish to note that the Regional Aviation Safety Group Middle East, known as the RASMID, was established with the main objective to develop an integrated data-driven strategy and implement a work program that supports a regional performance framework for the management of safety. This approach is designed to reduce the commercial aviation fatality risk in the mid-region and promote states and industry safety initiatives in harmony with the ICAO Global Aviation Safety Plan, known as the GASP. The 4th meeting of the RASMID was successfully held in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia 3 weeks ago. Inter alia, this RASMID 4 meeting endorsed the 3rd Mid-Region Annual Safety Report, which provides all necessary data related to the safety indicators contained in the Mid-Region Safety Strategy, including the accident records or the reactive safety information part, then the safety oversight or the proactive safety information, and the last, this is mainly based on the USOP CMA and of ICAO, the USOP CMA program, and the IATA, IUSA, and ISAGO program. I believe today you will hear about these 2 programs. Also, the annual safety report contains another section related to the predictive information. This is mainly related to the SSP SMS implementation. The RASMID 4 meeting agreed also that a draft declaration on aviation safety in the mid-region, which includes a set of core aviation safety targets to be monitored at the level of the Director General of Civil Aviation, be presented to the DGCA MID-3 meeting, which will be held in Doha, Qatar, end of this month, 27 to 29 April 2015, for endorsement. The RASMID 4 meeting noted also with appreciation that several safety enhancement initiatives and detailed implementation plans have been completed in this region, and this is with the effort of all the stakeholders. I would like also to highlight that the study related to the establishment of a regional safety oversight organization for the Middle East and North African states is completed, and it was supported by the RASMID 4 meeting, and it will be presented to the upcoming DGCA MID-3 meeting for endorsement and eventual signature of the letter of intent by states to go ahead with the establishment of the RSO. The success of the RASMID is dependent on the commitment, participation, and contribution of its members and partners from states and international and regional organizations and the industry. Accordingly, all the aviation stakeholders should have an active role within the framework of RASMID in order to achieve the RASMID's objectives in a cooperative manner and to avoid the duplication of efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I would like to emphasize that the President of the Council has made it his clear priority that ICAO stays closely focused on providing and coordinating the implementation assistance and capacity building resources many states require. And ICAO recognizes that only by succeeding on this goal will we be able to ensure that no country is left behind. This is the slogan of the President of the Council, which is endorsed now as the main slogan to work on for the coming 3 years. No country is left behind. A comprehensive list of the ICAO implementation resources is now available under the recently developed No Country Left Behind section of the ICAO public website. In connection with the above, I am pleased to highlight that based on the state safety briefing for Egypt, which is available also on the ICAO iStars webpage, all the indicators of the dashboard are green, except one which is related to the PBN implementation. So I congratulate you for these achievements. However, it's to be noted that the monitoring of the key performance indicators, the KPIs, is an ongoing and dynamic exercise. And what is green today might become red tomorrow, and vice versa. In addition, I would like to underline that for some KPIs, in particular the one related to the SSP implementation, the data used to evaluate the level of implementation is self-reported by the states and not yet validated by ICAO. Finally, we are proud to have states such as Egypt in the accreditation area of the ICAO Middle East office. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a successful conference.
I'm sure we were all happy to hear that the Middle East area recorded 0 fatal incidents in the world. This is good news, and I hope that this conference and the activities within the conference will contribute into continuing in these directions, particularly with the comment that you said, sir, about KPIs are not green, and they do not usually continue green unless we keep them green. So I hope that our efforts will also contribute into keeping our KPIs green. The coming presenter is Captain Mohammed Zanati, President of Egyptian Civil Aviation Authority. Please welcome to your speech.
سيد معالي وزير الطيران المدني طيار حسام كمال، سيد رئيس مجلس إدارة مجموعة الصفوة ووزير الطيران المدني الأسبق مهندس حسين مسعود، السيدات والسادة الحضور الكرام، إنه لمن دواعي اعتزازي وفخري مشاركتي لهذا المؤتمر الذي يضم لفيف من كبار رجال الطيران المدني، وتهنئتي الخالصة لمجموعة الصفوة ذات الأهداف النبيلة والتي تؤكد لمفهوم الشراكة المجتمعية التي أصبحنا في أمس الحاجة لها ونحن نبني وطنا كلنا فيه شركاء. إنها الخطوة الجريئة نحو الإسهاب الإيجابي لخدمة المجتمع. سنجني ثمار هذه المبادرات الإيجابية، لا سيما أنها نبت يرعاه لناس يتمتعون بالخبرة العالية، وإذ ندعم بكل ثقة وفخر هذه الطاقات الكامنة ونقدمها للمجتمع. إن الاهتمام الملحوظ والذي لا يمكن تجاهله من أصحاب الخبرة العالية الذين أدوا واجبهم وتركوا مناصبهم ومقاعدهم التي شغلوها يوما ما وقدموا خلالها الكثير، يجعلنا أكثر تفاؤلا لمستقبل مشرق وإن الحاجة ماسة لهم، لا سيما في كقطاع الطيران الذي يتمتع بديناميكية تتطلب الاستدامة. من منطلق أن السلامة مسؤولية الجميع، فإن سلطة الطيران المدني تسمن وتشجع أي مبادرات يرعاها خبراء من منظمات غير حكومية. إن دور سلطة الطيران المدني هو وضع الأطر التشريعية والالتزام بكافة ما يصدر عن منظمة الطيران المدني من وثائق وملاحق ونشرات إلزامية وإرشادية، والعمل بجانب مجموعة الخبراء يمكن أن تسهم بدور فعال في التطبيق الأمثل لهذه التشريعات، مع اختيار أفضل الممارسات والمواد الاسترشادية للنهوض بهذا المرفق الحالي. لا يخفى على الجميع أن مؤشرات الأداء تلعب دورا كبيرا في قطاع الطيران المدني، حيث أصبحت آلية للقياس والمنافسة على مستوى العالم. وختاما، أشكر حضراتكم جميعا على الدعوة والمشاركة، ولا أطيل عليكم، فجدول أعمالكم مشحون بتقديم العروض والمناقشات، وأتمنى للجميع التوفيق والخروج بنتائج مثمرة وفعالة يكون لها أثر إيجابي في مجال سلامة الطيران. تمنياتي للجميع بدوام التوفيق. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
نشكر كابتن محمود زناتي, President of the Egyptian Civil Aviation Authority, for his speech and for particularly highlighting a main point on this conference, which is the corporate social responsibility and the participation of the NGOs into enhancing industries. Particularly, this association is unique and unprecedented, working on enhancing the aviation industry in Egypt. So thank you, sir, for highlighting this point. And now it's the time of the speech of the conference's guest of honor, His Excellency Captain Hussam Kamal, Minister of Civil Aviation of Egypt. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Captain Hussam.
Honorable Minister Engineer Ibrahim Yunus, Ministry of Military Production, Honorable Minister Hussein Masoud, Chairman of the Safa Association, Honorable Ministers, dear guests and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Allow me first to express my gratitude for this kind invitation from the esteemed Safa Aviation Association, and I would like to thank the Honorable Ministers, the international and regional aviation organizations, industry partners, press and media representatives for being with us today. The aviation industry is not the oldest industry, however, it's the most developing, the fastest growing, as aviation continues to expand globally. Our understanding of safety must progress to match the degree of change occurring in this industry. We must have continuous initiatives in order to identify hazards, mitigate and manage risk, protect manpower, and safeguard assets and create effective, economically feasible solutions to problems, thus prevent incidents and accidents. Aviation is one of the most tightly regulated industries in the world. It has such an intense level of security and safety. This makes it the safest means of transportation in our world, despite the mishap that happens from time to time. Commercial air transport has become safer than any other form of transportation used by mankind. The Ministry of Civil Aviation role is critical in ensuring safety. We keep raising the safety bar and we still have room for improvement. And I'm confident everyone here is ready and willing to join hands to achieve the highest safety levels. We are learning a lot of lessons every day. We are keen on setting safety standards, issuing licenses and permits based on those standards, regulating airspace and establishing the inspection programs necessary to ensure continued operational safety. Ladies and gentlemen, one big challenge of the airline industry is the overcrowded airspace over many regions of the world. Thus, we have to find immediate solutions through the use of modern technology and to cover the navigational routes by satellites to ensure the safety and security of air routes, especially in our African continent. Moreover, the efforts made by the government in the field of civil-military cooperation to optimize the air routes and make the Egyptian airspace more attractive for international airlines and help reduce fuel consumption, shorten flight time, and reduce emissions. Aviation security as well is an urgent challenge, as the world's airports have spent last year around £7 billion on security screening devices only. However, we know well that it's much more costly not to secure aviation than to secure it. Therefore, we apply the highest international standards in securing cargo and passengers, and our vision for the future allows us to use modern techniques and three-dimensional detectors, which contributes to the enhancement of our security procedures. Ladies and gentlemen, our vision for the future of aviation in Egypt stems from our confidence in the ability of Egypt and the Egyptians, especially those working in the field of civil aviation. We are the people responsible for a better and safer future for the industry, through a vision committed to international rules and standards. Upgrading the human factor in all sectors of Egyptian civil aviation is critical to ensure the highest safety standards. This can be achieved through standardized and accurate selection process, intensive training, giving opportunities for promising personnel to lead the civil aviation sector in the future. One of the main strategies for the Egyptian Ministry of Civil Aviation is the ultimate use of technology and digital systems, which coinciding with ICAO and IATA initiatives for operations and procedures. In addition to facilitating the travel process to reduce time and effort and increase effectiveness and raise the safety level. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of my speech, I would like to express my sincere thanks to you for attending the conference, with a special thanks to the industry partners who have contributed to this conference, and I hope that this conference comes out with results and recommendations that foster the development of the aviation industry, not only in Egypt, but in the whole region. Thank you very much.